I'm joined by former Chief of Staff of Israeli Army, Dance, and
Yeah.
he served some times ago. He had taken part in some war also, especially in Yom Kippur War. He was part of the Israeli Army and
Israeli Air Force.
Israeli Air Force, especially because we know the superiority Israeli Air Force has in this region. So if you could just let us know how this thing unfolded and how Israeli security agencies could not sense what kind of crisis situation you will see this has become because of the sort of failure that Israeli agencies could not sense this major onslaught of terrorism is coming to Israel.
Well, let's start from the fact that on the 7th of October, early morning, we were caught by surprise. We were not well prepared on the front line, and the circumstances are known, all published. We lost many civilians, and unfortunately, as one from the military establishment in the past, I would say that we failed in defending our civilians, which is the main goal of any military establishment. Since then, first of all, we retaliate. First of all, to push out all those terrorists from our borders, from our land. And from then on, we are preparing a ground attack on Gaza Strip. We started with the Air Force, of course, and the Air Force is paving the way and destroying targets, first of all, to kill the terrorists involved. Of course, not every one of them, because we have to find them. So it's a combined work of the intelligence and the forces.
So, sir, how difficult is it going to be, because Hamas terrorists that Israel has been saying are very, very tightly embedded in the civilian population in Gaza. So, how are you going to differentiate between the terrorists and the civilian casualties? Because I think that is one of the reasons the world's attention is quickly shifting to the, crisis, humanitarian crisis in
The
Gaza.
whole idea is to push back the civilians out of the northern part of Gaza Strip, and they already did. About between 500,000 up to million moved from the northern part of Gaza Strip, which is a small area, by the way, and moved to the south. And then it will enable us to act freely. Means that all those who remained and didn't comply with the order to move are considered as terrorists.
So,
there is a lot of talks about the humanitarian aspect, and no one can accuse us that we were humanity in the past. We already did everything. We always did everything in order to prevent kills of uninvolved people. But right now, we'll try to do our best, I believe, in order to differ between those and those.
So,
but no one can promise.
Sir, as you have already said that it looks like quite a bit of failure from the Israeli intelligence agency in sensing something so big is coming.
Failure will be checked after the war, not during the war. We will have to inquire it in a very thorough way.
So what I was coming to, that if the Israelis could not sense that, don't you think that Hamas militant or the terrorists would be actually have prepared for an upcoming invasion from the Israeli army, and they may be well settled and well placed, and to cause more or inflict more casualty on the Israeli army? So in that context, how soon or how big the Israeli counteroffensive can happen on the Gaza?
No doubt that the Hamas has all the notification that we are going to come, and they will be prepared. But we believe that our abilities are far far above their abilities. And yeah, there will be casualties. Hi, good morning. There will be casualties.
On the Israeli side.
But there is no way to fight. You know, when you're entering to the box ring, you're expecting to get some boxes as well, and not only to punch. But I believe that we'll do it in a way that will minimize our casualties, and let's wait and see.
We have like two things that the world and the security analysts have been talking. First is the very complicated tunnel system that they have created, or probably the mining they have done along the border, that the Israeli military could be progressing from that side, and also there could be street fights where they'll be well positioned. Will the Israeli side have a stomach to deal with any more casualties of soldiers? You have already lost more than 200 soldiers in the terrorist attack.
We are ready to deal with any kind of enemy. In this case, those are terrorists. We know what are their capabilities. Unfortunately, they showed us that they are a little bit better in the last surprise attack. But that will not affect our determination to do anything needed in order to change the situation.
The world leaders have called for de-escalation of tension. President Biden is also going to come here. We have seen, UK Prime Minister also saying that de-escalation should be there. In the midst of all the action that is happening along Gaza and by the Israeli air forces, you think diplomacy is taking center stage and counteroffensive will have to be delayed against Hamas?
Well, once again,
with all the leaders calling for peace or de-escalation of tension, you think the diplomacy is taking center stage and the counteroffensive by the Israeli army will be delayed?
Peace is not the word to be used now. Let's talk peace later. Gaza Strip is not under our control in the last almost 20 years. We withdraw from Gaza and we let them handle themselves. Unfortunately, instead of trying to build something positive, they wasted all their budget to build a war machine. And we are going to destroy the war machine. That's all, as simple as that. To destroy, absolutely, 100%.
But will that
no one will be left alive from the terrorist, as long as we know him and we can target him.
But will the counteroffensive be delayed now, because the world leaders are calling for a de-escalation?
The world leaders are world leaders. I really appreciate all the world leaders, and we are welcoming them. I don't know what will be the decision of our Prime Minister, who is in a problem as well.
Of course.
But in the end of the day, I believe that the responsibility of the state of Israel is for its own civilians first, and that we will do whatever is needed in order to bring security back to Israel. It takes how long it will take, it will cost how much it should cost, but in the end of the day, we are going to win.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. So this was former Chief of Staff of Israeli Army. He said that there is going to be counteroffensive. There is going to be an action that would mean eliminating entire network of Hamas, and it would take as many life of soldiers it would take. But at the end of the day, Israel is going to win and Hamas is going to be destroyed. So that is the spirit that Israeli government, Israeli soldiers, and Israeli people are right now going ahead with. We'll have to see amidst all the diplomacy around the world that the leaders have been calling for de-escalation of the tension in the region. Will the counteroffensive by the Israeli side be a delayed action, or the Hamas terrorists will have some more time to ensure that there is no more such terrorist attack and some peace brokerage between the two sides will be pursued by the leaders or all the world's stakeholders in the region?